Hello, hello, and welcome, my Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your work, career, and vocation read for December 2020 and January 2021. Happy New Year, happy holidays, and all of that. I am your reader, Markangela Lyons, Mel for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of DrawingTheCircle Productions, the Archangel of Lyons, Markangela Lyons, but you can call me Mel. Hey, see if that pops up in the reading. A little sneak peek, perhaps, we shall see. It could just be random. Sometimes it is. If you are new to my channel, please settle in. These reads I have been doing for a very, very long time in different ways and different spreads for myself. I've been self-employed since 1998, president of DrawingTheCircle Productions, S Corporation, before there were LLCs. So working from my home, as you can see, I changed things. My subscribers, welcome back. Probably noticed the change of venue here. Got a little lower back stuff going on, so I've turned the corner of my sectional here, my couch, into a working throne, and I am so up for and down with this setup, and I'm digging it. So let's get down to a work, career, vocation, shall we? This is a 9-card spread based on, well, the initial foundation of it based on the work of Carolyn Myss, 3 Levels of Power. There's a link in the description box. It'll give you some of the foundation of it with Carolyn Myss, MYSS. This is her deck. We'll be using these as the first 3 cards down the archetype decks to look at your work, career, your vocation, and 3 levels of power, what you do for survival, lower 3 chakras, root, sacrum, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and crown, the personal world, your career, your passion, your hunger, your thirst, right? Like for me, it's a teacher and a reader and just all of this stuff that I do. I love, right? It's an artistic, but it's a healing thing, right? It's a drive within me. But then there is the vocation. That is the 8th chakra. Your spiritual calling, and to bring them all into alignment is a good thing, but I don't think we can, it's not like we can get it into alignment. It's just like chakras, like it's just allowing that 8th chakra stuff to eventually incarnate all the way down in terms of life, purpose, service. You get it, right? So let's have a look-see, duck-see. We're going to use 3 different decks, 3 cards each. Carolyn Myss to get you what the soul powers being developed are within those said chakras and levels of power. Daughters of the Moon. Oh, put the Hermit at the bottom, but that's okay. The Wise One. For your interior experience of it, the Hermit, right? And then we've got, the Emperor at the bottom here. I'm not saying that that's part of the reading. It's just I didn't even shuffle them yet today. I will do that in a moment. This is going to be what it looks like on the outside, right? The yang stuff. You'll see. I'll explain it as I go because the guides do, because that's the prayer before I do this. Let's dump the day, all that has got us here, and just take a nice deep breath. Remember, this is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Is that enough explanation, exposition? Can we do this? Yeah, all the decks that I read are in the description box all the way at the bottom. Take a nice deep breath, Scorpios. I love you. Breathe. Oh, that feels good. Yeah, my collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, 3 cards in clarity for the Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs in their work, career, vocation, December 2020 and January 2021, please. What's the dominant archetype and archetypal force being developed in their work, survival, lower 3 chakras, their career, heart, throat, third eye, and crown, their vocation, 8th chakra. Very clear, very easy, very direct. And I always say these can be a little triggery. They're supposed to be. There are shadow and light aspects of attributes of each of these archetypes. So you think of them in terms of the work that you're doing, from alchemizing lead to gold, shadow to light, the healing journey, the hero's journey. Oh, wow. Holy crapolies. You've got the angel, the storyteller, and the servant. I don't know why that feels familiar. It'll come to me if it's come, because that's the thing. As you start working with archetypes, you start noticing patterns. Sometimes things in people's lives are playing out from fairy tales and myths and ancient myths. It's read Sacred Contracts and Joseph Campbell and Carl Jung, and that's a lot for that. Yeah, some light reading. Look, you got the angel archetype, divine family archetype in the physical world, right? In your work in the world. So you're an angel on earth, right? In this sense. But watch out for the shadow of this within yourself. Acting innocent or angelic to mislead others. Now look, when you're a kid, that's one thing. But this is in your work in the world, right? This is how you survive. Like, so think of this, even like I don't make my money through my work per se. That's as an administrator, a president, right? It's all the social media stuff. It's all that stuff. I don't get paid for that. I get paid for my career, for what I do as a reader and a teacher and on and on and on, right? My vocation is a mystic. I have them all in one thing, but you don't need to, right? This could totally be about how you operate in the world. But your internal world might be making you your income. But in terms of physical survival, the shadow attribute, right? Acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. Now, I gotta say, that's gotta be a little on the rare side, that last part. I mean, who goes around saying that, falsely claiming? I mean, I am working with angelic guidance. Yes, my middle name is Angelo. So, I really contemplated, do I have the angel archetype? And well, here's the light part of it. Helping those in need with no expectation of return. Now, that is true of me in some ways, but that angel archetype, I think everybody, that's when they say, listen to your better angels. But if you have the archetype, it is a soul power being developed. So really look at that within yourself in terms of service to others, right? In terms of the work that you are doing, that it's helping you survive. It's teaching you how to survive, but it's also giving some kind of divine family archetype service. I mean, the angel family's no joke. I mean, the angel archetype's no joke. It's divine family archetype. In your career, you've got the storyteller. Now, the storyteller is vast. It is a creative family archetype, and it's in every career, right? In some way, shape, or form, at least anything that produces something publicly or has a public face. Like, what's the story of, so to speak? The shadow attribute, making up tales that harm others, which, you know what I mean. And Scorpio, you do know what I mean. The water signs in particular, if you have strong water placement, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, then really, if you learn to trust that, you can tell when things are false. It's just something's off here, but it's often disguised as a judgment, which is a story, right? So to kind of hear the judgment here, let yourself have that feeling, and get that the real message under that, it's not really a judgment, it's an intuition saying something's off here, right? So pay attention to that. Making up stories that harm others, but the light attribute, ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols, sort of like what I'm doing right now as a reader, right? I'm reading a story, an archetypal story. So, but this can also have a lot to do with the stories you tell yourself about your career, and we're going to check all that out in, the following cards to come. But in this, this is great. This has shown up before. The servant in the 8th chakra, Libra, the read I did before this. So there we go. I thought it seemed familiar. Boing, just popped into my head because it's the most recent. The servant archetype I have as a Virgo, certainly. The shadow attribute, though, using lack of money as an excuse to not move forward with life. And when you are self-employed, if that is your case, then to go to the divine and say, I am doing the best that I can, but it's an easy shadow. Oh, well, and I see this, and I said this in the other one. It's all coming back to me now. Oh, Celine Dion. Oh, Celine Dion. That people say, well, once the kids are out of the house, but I don't have the money. I would love to take that where I would love to meditate more. I would love to, but I can't because I'm always working. And I understand that. I completely understand that. But this is about your service to the divine and being used as a divine service into the world. Is very inspirational and very Scorpio. Which, by the way, nobody needs to know about this stuff, right? This is stuff you can totally keep hidden. This is your own mystical path. The light attribute, delight in serving others with a free and loving heart, right? That's that divine love. That's life purpose stuff. So really, you put that together, like the servant coming down through the 8th chakra, the storyteller, heartthrob, third eye, and crown, and then doing this service as the angel. It's pretty cool. That's really cool. But you got to be careful of the shadow of all of them, because as bright as any archetype sounds in its light is as toxic as it is in its shadow, and vice versa, right? I mean, the storyteller really is the liar, right? But sometimes it's the stories we tell ourselves that we believe to be true, though we may sense something's off, but still, right? Because it's tribal, it's passed on, it's just society or conditioning. Welcome to conditioning. Oh my God, Howard Jones. Hi, cutie, breathe. Daughters of the Moon Tarot, my friends, Daughters of the Moon Tarot. Let's see what's going on inside of you in terms of your internal experience with this. This is the Goddess deck for me, the Divine Feminine, the Divine Yin, the Yin Force, whatever you want to call it. I call it the Goddesses because that's how they appear to me. Thank you very much. Breathe. All right, my Goddesses of Water. And the sign of Scorpio, please, 3 cards in clarity. Please clarify for the Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. What is their interior experience? Like, what's particularly the Scorpio, what others may not see, may not know, may not be able to pick up on for the Scorpio collective? Gladly. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. December 2020, January 2021 in their work, career, vocation. First 3 chakras: work, heart, work, heart, third eye, crown. Am I going to do that every time now? Career, work. I'm not a drag fan around me, Scorpio. I apologize. I am so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. That was my whole Pono answering machine message for years. And my Goddesses, please, I'm glad we're having fun with this, because this actually feels very lovely with this servant archetype in their 8th chakra, their vocation. Please, how are they experiencing that? They told me to take my time today with these, and I'm going to. Yep, there it is. There it is. There it is. You got the card to play. That's kind of that feeling that I was picking up on here. So 6 of flames. Play. Oh, honey, enjoy. Enjoy. This is the balance of fire. This is when what you want to do and what you need to do are the same thing, and you enjoy it. Oh my God. Keep in mind, they just say, keep in mind, helping those in need with no expectation of return. And by the way, you pair that with this. Delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. You get it? Now, by the way, the servant archetype, I forgot to say, is the healing family of archetypes. So you've got a divine family archetype, a creative family archetype, and a healing family archetype. This is really good. This is really good. In the storyteller, no, this is tricky, because when court cards turn up with this deck in this reading, because it's internal, this is your internal experience, this is really about your life values. Now, I will say that your life values might be influenced by a Taurus. It is the corn mother, the mother of pentacles, but we're looking at second house stuff. Now, if there is somebody in your work, career, vocation that has strong Taurus energy, doesn't mean they have to be a Taurus Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. They may not, but they are your opposite sign. So they might very well be teaching you something about what your values really truly are inside, but you got to be careful of the tales and the stories that are told. Sometimes people will transmit their values to you in a very, very harsh way, right? Either by example or through, direct communication sometimes. And if you're an empath, the Scorpio that you are, you can really, really be picking up on that. Just be mindful of the stories. Like, don't try and change them right away. Just go, what is the story here, right? In terms of what is rock solid, lifelong value for me. That, because people want to say, oh, money and prosperity and wealth, and that's true, and fertility, and yes, that's true. Fertile earth, fixed earths, Taurus, but your opposite sign, your fixed water. So to really get the fertility of that, but in terms of also, what are your bedrock values? Like, to me, honesty is really important. That's why I read cards. That's what you do. It's like, I just want to know what's going on. Not so much to control anymore, but just to kind of like it's supposed to snow. It's like big snowstorm, people freaking out, eggs and milk and bread and milk. I'm like, I'm good. I'm fine. Peapod, thank you, right? But it's good to know, right? Like, just kind of things like that. This is deeper than that. This is like, what are the stories going on deep inside in your value? What do you really value? What are the stories you tell yourself about that? And it feels like if there is a Taurus, because it is your opposite sign, there's something going on there to look at as well. This is wonderful. Now, 10 of Flames here is the 10 of Wands, obviously, element of fire, but very different than, bless her heart, Pamela Coleman Smith, the painter, the artist of the Rider-Waite Tarot. This is the Hora. This is a celebration. This is a completion of desire and of spiritual desire. This is you've got it. This is you graduated. You don't dance the Hora as a bummer. I've been to enough bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, and Jewish weddings to tell you that it is a big deal. It is a celebration, and it is, yes, a community event. Now, we're looking at work, career, vocation here, so we'll see how this manifests in the external in the last 3 cards. But I'm getting chills. I'm really getting chills here, and I don't think it's the temperature. I think I'm just fine in my home. But I just feel like the amount of earth here in terms of your internal rock solid, like, do you know how valuable you are? Do you know, in terms of a life value, your own value there? What is the story you tell yourself? Because it is heart, third eye, and crown. And it has to do with your career. But your work looks like it's kind of fun. So let's get these last 3 down, right? Because what does this look like on the outside? Take a nice deep breath. I've taught so many tarot students how to do that. Yeah, I teach tarot. I'll get back to it. It's just, yeah, that's what I want to do after doing readings all day long. Turn around and teach it for another 5. Nope. Breathe. Oh my gods of water in the sign of Scorpio. You know who you are, please. 3 cards in clarity for my beloved Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs in their work, career, vocation, December 2020 and January 2021. We've got the angel archetype in their work with Bastet, the Egyptian solar cat goddess, 6 of Flames play. Please, what does that look like on the outside, face down? In their career, they've got the storyteller archetype with Taurus. Great corn mother. So I can feel that too. Like, I mean, it's like, do they know their own value, right? What is the story they're telling about how much they nurture, how stable they are, how valued they are by others, and if not, then certainly by themselves. I don't think this is a self-worth thing, but there is something there about what is the story they tell themselves, right? So what does that look like on the outside for my Scorps? And that servant archetype is so lovely with the Hora, with that 10 of Flames, that completion, that ending, that rite of passage, that graduation. What does that look like on the outside? It feels like you might be going, like, you know, like stages of service. You're evolving spiritually. Well, let's see. Like I said, you got the angel with Bastet. It's pretty good. With the death card, well, Scorpio. There you go. Now, Scorpio card right there for sure. But look, if your world is transforming, being alchemized from lead to gold, phoenix transformation, you know, ashes and rise, believe me, this is the time. This is the great awakening, the great spiritual awakening we're going through. And don't take my word for it. Ask the divine, they'll tell you, right? But there is something beautiful here in this, that your experience of this is playful. So if this is not like a personal transformation for you, this might very well be the transformation. But it feels more like the rising from the ashes than the going to, don't you think? Particularly with the angel and play and balance. Like, there's a balance of desire here. This feels really good. So it might be that your work is transforming, but in a really fun, I would say, creative way, right? Fire, creativity, will, desire. And that angel thing, here's the thing, helping those in need with no expectation of return. Maybe you ain't getting paid for it. That might be the dealio, and you kind of don't care. It's like, yeah, no, I mean, if it was like a temporary thing, like for the holidays or something, okay. My lower back is kicking a little bit. Oh, I can do these like this. Yeah, I'm fine. Reiki, schmeiki, eggs and bakey. I'm good. Oh, as my leg cramps, that's fine. I just did yoga. Ugh. Wim Hof. Storyteller with Taurus. This because it's a general reading, feels could go either way. The stories that you're hearing, even in your own head, about what's valuable, what's not. Yeah, money and all that stuff too, but it's inside. With Temperance, you're getting 2 major arcana cards here in a row. Temperance with Taurus is a card of patience. It's just patience. What are the stories you're telling yourself while this alchemy is going on? Because look, if you got temperance going on, heart, throat, third eye, and crown, while your external world, right? This is happening here and this is happening here. You're fine. You're fine. But what are the stories you're telling yourself about your what you truly value in your life? Now, look, everybody's been challenged with that this year in one way, shape, or form, if not material, then family and loved ones and lost loved ones and health and politics. I mean, it's just been crazy, right? So take some time for yourself, patience here, to really rest in your own value. And look, I'm not all up for telling stories that harm others, the shadow side. I'm even talking about the stories that we tell ourselves in order to avoid our emotional pain, right? Temperance, this is about healing and about balance, and there is an emotional component to it. Why always the 2 cups otherwise, right? The blending of things, the healing of things. It's part of the alchemical process. You could say this is the physical part of the alchemical process in your work, led to gold transformation. This is the internal alchemical laboratory, your heart and your mind. And remember, if you watch videos on I'm telling you, Awesome Restoration, I think the channel is called, any of those channels where they take like old rusted stuff and redo them, like make them whatever word you want to use, because I've seen them use different words, what they put that stuff through, but they temper it, right? They put the iron in the furnace and it gets burning white hot. This is so Scorpio, it's ridiculous, right? And they pull it out. What do? They dip it in like motor oil to cool it. Makes it nearly unbreakable, right? I mean, that's very Scorpio. That's so Scorpio. The sequel series. Sorry. I'm such a goofball. Oh, okay. Look, here's the deal in your vocation. Last card down, you got the 5 of Cups. Now look, as joyful as this is going on inside of you, it is triggered or as a result of some kind of heartbreak. Now, my immediate sense of that is that this is not something directly related to you. You may be in the proximity of it. It might be in your family, but that you really step into. It feels like you're going to be dealing with physical transformations that affect a lot of people here. And so that's why the angel part of it, just running and doing your thing. It feels like you might be doing a lot of very strong spiritual service here, but you need to know that it's because you graduated. You're up for it, right? But 5 of Cups means something is usually revealed of an emotional nature that is upsetting, but not all is lost, right? You'll always see at least 1 cup standing in 5 of Cups, usually. I mean, unless it's really like the bummer Tara. Oh, dude, man. You're a virgin that can't drive. So harsh. Let me put it together for you in a blessing. I think that's the easiest way, right? I define it that way. Now we'll bless it this way. Take a nice deep breath. May the Scorpio collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need in their work, their career, and their vocation, that they may alchemize that servant archetype within them, finding delight in serving others with a free and loving heart, with a sense of completion of desire, of graduation, in the face of whatever might come to them in terms of emotional upset in or around them, that they are able to be the storyteller, that they are able to experience and express life through stories and symbols of value, of core, of healing, of support, of nurturance, as they bring their career into balance, slow but steady, but wins the race, the temperance of making it stronger over time through patience and discipline internally, as the angel within them helps those in need with no expectation of return in a fun, balanced, playful way, while the world in their work transforms around them. That they may do this and fulfill their role in the divine plan, their life purpose, their dharma, for their well-being and for the well-being of all. So motivating. so it is. There you have it. See something you like? Hit the like button. Want more of me? Subscribe. Want to know when I'm putting it out? Hit notification. And by all means, feel free to comment. I love reading comments. I know you're not supposed to read them, but I do. I can't help it. I'm a Virgo, and I trust you, Scorpios. Oh, I get a little salty. I don't mind if people get salty in my comments. Why not? Some salty down in my comment box. Otherwise, look, thank you so much for watching. Wishing you all the very, very best and the very, very blessed in your work, career, vocation. Hail. Farewell, and blessed, blessed.